Well, I've forgotten to turn the camera on, haven't I? I knew there was something I'd forgotten. There we go. Oh, Tilavol, hello. How you doing? Okay. I'm back with the stream. Many years ago, back in the 90s it was, I used to, on one of my jobs, my many jobs that I had back then, I was the entire IT department for a small company, and for that company we ran a Novell NetWare server. Since then I have never touched it since, so I've not seen hide nor hair of Novell NetWare since NetWare, I think it was 4 we ran. Back in the mid-90s, that would have been, mid to late 90s. Late? Yeah, about 90, yeah, 96-ish I think it would have been, it's 96, 97, somewhere around then. So I thought I would have a play and build a NetWare network just to remind myself how horrible it was. So I've got my Cyrix system down under the desk over there, buried under that bit over there somewhere, which I'm going to use as the server. And I've got my trusty old 486 here, which I'm going to use as client. No idea if it's going to work or not, but we shall see. Now, from what I remember, NetWare is a strange beast. It's not really an operating system, and it's not really an application. It's sort of halfway between the two, because to run NetWare server, first you have to install and run DOS, and then you run NetWare within DOS, but it doesn't run as an application in DOS. It completely replaces DOS, so DOS is little more than a bootloader really. So my first job will be to set up some fresh installations of DOS on these machines. So for that I have 2 SD cards here, one for the server, 8 GB, and one for the client, 2 GB. This old 486 won't deal with anything more. Oh, hello, I've got a big heart. I have a new follower, Nessreal, hello, thank you for the follow. As I was saying, yes, this old 486 won't support anything more than about 3.6 GB, so 2 GB card is really the biggest card I can use in it. So both these computers as well have got Gotex in them, which makes it useful. So I've got all my DOS installation files on this memory stick. Right, so job 1, NetWare, more like nightmare. You might well be right there, David Phantom, and hello since it's your first time chatting. Glad to see you streaming live. I usually only hear about it afterwards in Shelby's stream. Oh yes. Well, it's not something I've been doing regularly, but I'm trying to stream a bit more regularly. But, well, it's tough coming up with ideas, so if you have anything you'd like me to stream about, send us a message and I'll consider it. Right, let's first off see about getting the old Cyrix going. I'm going to need the memory key in there, and I'll need my glasses so I can see what I'm selecting. Okay, DOS disk 1 is in. Will it boot off the floppy? Or is this going off the hard drive? That's going off the current hard drive. That's the point. I need to swap the memory card for this blank one. And I need to change my boot order on here. Oh yes, I should also update the hard drive settings. Oops, wrong one. Okay, where are we? Boot up sequence. I need AC SCSI. Right, let's install DOS on here. Another thing with NetWare is, although you install it in DOS, it doesn't live in DOS. It doesn't use DOS much. Yes, the server software is in there, but it needs its own partition formatted with its own file system, which is where it installs all the actual server software. So I shall partition this drive manually. If it's going to accept it all. Okay, primary DOS partition. No, I don't want it to the maximum available. I shall have 500 meg, I think. Should be enough. And set it active. Why NetWare? Because nostalgia, basically. I used to run a NetWare server back in the mid to late 90s at a company, and I've never played with it since, so I'd just like to go back in time and just remind myself how horrible it was and bring you along for the torturous ride. Try saying that when you're drunk 10 times fast. Okay, let's format. Whoosh. The joys of an SD card. Muscle memory means I don't have to worry about looking when I choose the keyboard and things in DOS. I've done it so many times over the past 40 years. There's no other better reason than nostalgia and the pain. Later versions, I think NetWare 6 changed from using DOS as its underlying system to using Linux. So I think NetWare 6 is a full-blown operating system based on Linux. But NetWare 4 requires DOS to boot first to then run NetWare. It's strange back in those days because Linux had not progressed to the point where it was, I mean, it was perfectly usable, but it hadn't gained the foothold in the community and industry for it to be used across the board for everything. So there are so many of these strange systems that did their own thing. Right, disk 2 is that one there. The follow goal is one of the Twitch waypoints on the way to becoming an associate, basically. There's a number of things you have to achieve and stay there for 30 days in order to become an associate, at which point I can start doing things like bits and all the fancy things you see on the other streams. Until then, I've got basic streaming abilities. Yeah, things like that. Can't do cheering on this yet. I need to get 50 followers. I need to be streaming regularly. I've got a certain number of hours I have to do in a month. All that sort of thing. No deck talk at the moment. No, I don't own a deck talk, although I am pondering other possibilities of similar things. I do have somewhere here. This is an LED panel that I built a long time ago. I'm considering putting it up on the wall somewhere maybe and having it so you can stream messages across it, that sort of thing. Or send emojis or things like that to it. Now you're just swearing. Okay, next disc. The biggest video, the most popular video that I have on YouTube is me making this. Most of my videos have done absolutely nothing, but this one has gone absolutely nuts with thousands and thousands of views for some reason. It's a rubbish video as well. Oh, GoTech, definitely GoTech. And this one machine that I'm using at the moment has also got a floppy in it, but that's set up as drive B. Yeah, probably. I'm just so ugly. People don't like me. Right, I need my copy of my perfectly legitimate copy of NetWare by Verbatim. I know what you meant. Okay, let's eject floppy. Wrong keyboard. And reboot. One brand new fresh installation of DOS. Okay, now I'm going to need CD-ROM drivers. I have on here as well the Windows 98 boot disk. Oh, hang on, wrong keyboard. Wrong keyboard. Okay, Windows 98 boot disk, which has the Oak CD-ROM driver. Set the last drive and device equals cdos oak cd-rom.sys/d:/cd-rom sudo exec mscdex /d:/cd-rom. Right, we should have CD-ROM access now. Yay. Now let's see if I've got NetWare on this disk. I 100% didn't download this from archive.org. Yep, that's NetWare. Okay, to install NetWare, run install. .200 pages of license. Okay, installing NetWare 4.2. Simple installation. I don't think I'll be giving it a complicated installation. Okay, server name. What am I going to call this server? I could do. Well, I'd like to keep it clean if possible. Any other suggestions? Servgerson. Strange one. Is that Neil? Neil as in the young ones? I like Neil. We'll have Neil. That looks like it's stuck. Not seeing any activity happening here, and it seems to be stuck on cd-rom.nlm. Awkward. Classic start, absolutely. Anyone would think this was written by Microsoft. Three-finger salute isn't working either. Yeah. Maybe it doesn't like the Cyrix processor. Possible. I wonder. Let's just set up my 486 and try it on there. just going to boot the existing OS on this one and try installing just to see what happens. I've got no keyboard control here. That's coming okay. That is plugged in. Try that again. Oh, this is one of those stream curse situations, I think, isn't it? Because I'm on stream, everything I try goes wrong. No. I seem to not have keyboard at the moment. It may be because it doesn't like my KVM switcher, perhaps. Although it recognised a stuck key just then, it won't let me into anything else after that. So I think it doesn't like my KVM switcher. Or was I an idiot and plugged it in the wrong way round? I was an idiot and plugged them in the wrong way round. Keyboard in mouse, mouse in keyboard. Okay, rewind. Let's try this again. That's better. Oh, I've not got CD-ROM set up on here, have I? General failure reading drive A, it's a GoTech. How can you have a general failure reading a GoTech? It's not happy at the moment, this computer. Nothing's happy at the moment. I have got the right floppy type set in the BIOS, haven't I? Not installed, that's why. How do you control this one? The silly F5, F6 one, it is, isn't it? Okay, let's try again. Attempt number 23, I think, this now. I'm not even sure that this CD drives connected up internally. That's better. Right, do I have CD-ROM now? Yes, it's connected. Let's just do a straight install on here and see what happens. Oh, okay. It has a memory manager that it doesn't like on here. I'll bet it's that one there. I did notice one thing strange just now as I was booting up. Well, not as I was booting, as I was running the installer. It came up at the start. If you watch carefully, the version number at the top of the screen here. NetWare 4.11 at that point. And NetWare 4.11 here. Then it clears and then it goes 4.2. Not too sure what's going on with that. Yes, whatever. Will this get past that same file? No, it won't. I think this installation image might be duff. But that's what you get when you download off the internet. Right, I do have another version. That version, though, I don't have a license file for. But it might operate anyway. Okay, let's wipe this disk off. Wodim blank fast. I do have a copy of 4.11 which I grabbed as well. I think I got that one from WinWorld PC or whatever it's called. Nearly blanked it. Just thinking it's done. Okay. And burn the version 4.11 instead. Fortunately, they're not very large ISO files, these ones. This one is, oh, that's 602 meg. I say not large, it's an entire CD's worth. I remember the days when writing a whole CD would take 74 minutes. Burning away happily. Just talk amongst yourselves for 5 minutes while this happens. Actually, when it comes to the client side of things on here, I'm going to need to know the settings for the network card in my 486. The Cyrix, I think, has a 3-COM PCI card in it, so that's completely plug and play. But this one is an old ISA NE2000 clone, I think. So I just need to grab the settings for that and make a note of them. I'm not sure if it's in here or not. No. I can't remember what networking I've got set up on here. Ah, it's the Microsoft. Crane fly has suddenly decided to come and attack me. Right, yeah, it's the Microsoft TCP and networking. Go away, stupid crane fly. Okay, anyway. It's interrupt 5, base address 320. Still writing. The SD card on this machine is inside, so I'm going to have to pull it all apart to change the SD card in there. Let's go back to that view. So I might as well do that actually while the CD is writing. Lost that screw. Right. Inside my lovely old 486. Here's the SD card stuck up here on the power supply. That's a nice easy change. It's all a bit of a tangled mess like most old 486s. PCI video, it's my old, what's that one called? I can't remember what the name of that card is, begins with a V, I think. Yeah, what was that card called? 486. It's the Vertex M1 ISA network card in there. There she is. That crane fly's back again. They're so annoying, those things. Weird buzzing on the mic. I mean, it's probably just my cheap microphone. Unless it's the crane fly you're hearing. What sort of buzzing? Sort of a 50 hertz one? Ah, is it? No, it's not on the. So if I go back to here, is it back again? Like a Geiger counter. Weird. I'm not really seeing anything on this, although I could go into, if I just go into the audio scene a moment, you'll lose all image, and into filters and add a noise there. Okay, I've turned on a noise gate now, so it should silence everything except when I'm actually speaking. So you should lose all background sound now and only get me. And it's not the sound of my screwdriver, is it? Because when I'm screwing at high speed, it does that sort of sound. Electric buzz. I mean, there is an awful lot of electric buzz going on around here. maybe it's just me. Or maybe it's a loose connection in my microphone. I do have the window open as well, so you might be hearing cars going past. Anyway, is this written yet? No, it's still writing. I might have to stick my headphones on and have a listen and see if I can hear anything when it next happens again. Here you go, you can have a nice view of the insides of a 486 whilst I'm waiting for this CD to finish writing. Yeah, I might give it a quick once over. What's our duration at the moment? It came back. Ooh. Check there's no error in communication on my microphone. It looks fine. Actively bopping now. I'm seeing a lot of microphone noise. It's making its way past the noise gate then. Might be the cheap cable that I've got connecting my microphone receiver. Yeah, let's have a look. If I can get it up on here. There's chat hiding on here. No, I don't see it in mode. I've lost chat. Where's it gone? Ah, there it is. Okay, there's the clip. Weird. There you go, you can have a nice view of the insides of a 486 whilst I'm waiting for this CD to finish writing. That sounds like it's coming out in stereo, which means it's probably between the receiver and the DAC. Cheap cable. Let's unwind it and spread it out a bit. Is it doing it now at all? La 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 la. I'm not seeing activity on the microphone input whilst I'm silent. Well, we'll see how we go. See if it's any better now I've unravelled the cable a bit. Absolutely. Right. Still not finished writing. Guys, it's taking forever. Good old rewritable CDs, not the fastest thing in the world. If this was a newer computer with USB, I'd use my iOD, but no, not a chance. I must learn the command line syntax for VOD to get me a progress from it, rather than it just sitting there saying recording. iOD are the most useful device ever created, and I couldn't live without mine. It's only the absolute basic model, but it is so useful. Every operating system I could need is on there. Still going. Because I don't know if it's going to be another 15 seconds or another 15 minutes or another 15 hours doing this. It looks like it's finishing. Yay, finished. Right, let's try this in the Cyrix. If this works and the other one doesn't, then I've definitely got something naff going on with that 4.2 image. Yeah. Let's just toast the old version there. Right. We want English. Much shorter license on this version. Very different installation this. Server installation. 4.11, simple installation. Neil. Oh. An error occurred copying cd-rom.nlm. Execution cannot continue. Same file, but actually giving an error this time. Okay. I'm going to try something. I'm going to try copying all the files onto the SD card. Copy /s/e 1. No, it doesn't like that. We've got a strange macOS file there that it doesn't like. What was that notification? Apparently I've just gone live on Twitch. Right, I'm going to have to copy these files individually then, aren't I? Yes, good old Twitch. Okay, that's that one done. And W411. So far I've been able to read all the files okay. God, there's a lot of rubbish on here. Actually, if there's 600 meg image, there's no way this is going to fit on my 500 meg partition. But saying that, a big chunk of it might be the Apple software that you can't get to on DOS. Strange that it's the same file. might, I suppose, be needing more memory. There's not enough memory to copy that file. Maybe it's too big to fit into memory while it's copying. I've got 48 meg, I think it is, on this computer. I'm not sure I've got a computer that would support NetWare that's more powerful than this. I've got Pentium 3 or Celeron P3 grade, which might work. I wonder if my Desk Pro would work. Windows 98 on there at the moment. I would probably need to put a different network card in it for it to work. File not found. That's an Apple Mac file name there by the looks of things. There's another bit it won't copy. Let's just try to NW411 copy rev.a NW411. Oh, it put them all in the wrong directory, didn't it? That's annoying. Okay, I think yeah, what I might do actually, as an experiment, I'm going to take the SD card, put it into my main computer. Then I am going to mount the SD card, delete that NW411 folder and the NW server folder, make a new NW411, and then use 7-zip to extract the ISO file. Okay. That told me I had an error, e-fail, because it's full, of course. Okay. I know what I'm going to do. Plan Q, I think we're up to now. Let's unmount the drive, although it's now got to write all that data that I don't actually want. I'm going to make another partition on this just to hold the disk image. I'll wait for this light to stop flashing. Somebody needs to invent an ultra high-speed SD card. One that can keep up with USB 3 speeds. It's 619 meg when extracted. Looking at this cd-rom.nlm file that it couldn't copy. It's about 128 kilobytes. That's not huge. I wouldn't have thought it would have a problem copying that. 134421 bytes. Ah, there we go, that's finished. Right. Fdisk. I want a new partition, primary, and I want plus 1 gig. And I want it to be a fat, I don't want it a FAT32 really, do I? Have we got FAT16 on here? FAT12, FAT16, less than 32, 06 FAT16. Right. Okay, I've got a partition on there, mkfs dot fat minus f16 sdb2. Let's get rid of the old NW4 and 1. Mount the new partition. One gig available, 7zx nw411.iso. Extracting, extracted. It's all in memory, of course, at the moment. And unmount. Now wait for this to write again. now we'll find that DOS doesn't want to read the new partition that I've made, won't it? I'm sure I don't remember having this sort of an issue installing NetWare originally. Mind, that was a good 28 years ago now, 25 years ago. Come on, SD card, finish writing. Must be nearly there. Flash, flash, flash. Ah, there we go. Finished. Right, moment of truth. If I could, I'd run a prediction. Will it work? This should have the CD-ROMs drive E now, if it's worked. Yep. There's my installation on the SD card. Yeah. Maybe there's something up with that CD-ROM. But we are progressing. Accept those defaults, loading the OS, system console, booting up. NetWare is booting. Oh, it's found my PCI LAN controller. And this is a 3Com Etherlink 3. 3C905. That's the one. Fast Etherlink XL. Now, I don't know what these are supposed to be. A value must be entered for the parameter slot number. Enter a value before you load the driver. Enter slot number. I think that refers to the PCI slot, and I think 9 rings a bell. Let's see if it likes it. No, it doesn't like it. Slot number 9 is not supported and was ignored. Supported slot values are 3. And system halted. That's crashed. There's still something happening, but quite what, I don't know. Oh no, double control is pushing my KVM. Don't know how to get out of that. I shall hit reset. The network controller is on IRQ11. Bus number 0, device number 10. Is that the slot number? 10? Whoa, okay. I assume it's... Oh, I wonder what PCI setup. Nope. Server. That's booting the server again. Okay, so I'm into Neil now. Oh. Goodness me. I don't remember any of this. Modules? No. List devices? Config. Maybe config. No, it just shows me the configuration. List devices? No. Scan for new devices. Scan for new devices. List devices. Nope. I don't know. I'm going to have to ask Google. NetWare 4. Install network card. Load iNet CFG. Ooh, hello. Apparently that's supposed to give me a menu. I think I'm going to reinstall. I don't know how on earth I can get back to where I was before it crashed out on me. I don't even know how to exit this. Doesn't take too long to reinstall. I shall nuke. It hasn't created a partition. I thought it was going to make a partition to put everything on. Okay. NW server. Gone. Or going. Install. Oh, excuse me. Okay, back to where we were. Right, so we want the 3C90X, and let's try slot 10. Tries loading the driver. Slot number 10 is not supported and was ignored. Total of 1 3C90X PCI adapter cards found. Slot number 10 is not supported and was ignored. Slot values are 3. I give it 3 and it'll crash again. Crunch. Page fault processor exception. The CPU encountered a problem executing code. I wonder if this is the Cyrix not being supported, perhaps. That's possible. Because the Cyrix is a bit of a strange beast. I wouldn't have thought it would be a year 2K bug. Quite happily knows that it's 2023. I don't know. I might try it on my Celeron, perhaps. That might be an option. It's a Pentium 3 grade Celeron. So it's got plenty of oomph, but maybe too much oomph for this. My first job is get it out of the desk. Oh, sounds like there's something loose in here. Let's move this over. I can't remember what I've got in here in the way of hard drive. Alright, what have we got in here? It's an actual spinning rust hard drive in this one. I might, for this experiment, replace it with SD card. That way I can use the same one that I've been using here with this installation on it. Speed things along a bit. What's the network card I've got in this? It's probably a 3Com. I do like 3Coms. Yep. 3Com 3C 905 BTX Fast Etherlink. I like 3Coms because everything supports 3Coms. Right, let's replace the hard drive with this SD card. And I want keyboard, mouse, video. And power. Let's see what we get. We get unhappiness. That beeping says bad memory to me. I haven't used this computer for quite some time. And I don't know if it still works. Let's reseat the memory. That sounds better. I'm not getting any video. Ah, that's because of this, is it? That's switched over to that channel. Oh, of course. It's got my Voodoo 3 in it, hasn't it? I need to... There we go. Plug that into there. Okay. Now this gave me some information on the way past about the network card. We've got network controller is bus 1, device 10, function 0, Q11. I have no idea how that relates to a slot. Right. Let's delete the old installation and start again. I think it's a 600 megahertz Celeron in this. Either 6 or 633. And I'm not sure how much memory either, actually. Let me just bring up the specs. It is... It has... Oh, it's got a 64 meg and a 32 meg DIMM in that. So 96 meg. Let's get the 3C90X. I'm just going to put it straight to slot 3 because it seems to want it to be slot 3. Save parameters and load driver. And this is going to fail. It wants to be slot 1. Make your mind up. And crash. Exactly the same. Right, it's not the fact that it's a Cyrix then. Page fault processor exception. The moment I try and load the network driver. I mean, I can try changing the date to something ancient, but I can't see that making a difference. Where's my reset on here? Have I got a reset on here? I haven't. Let's go for 1997. I'd love to know how to restart that installation after the crash. What if I install without deleting the old version? What will happen to it, I wonder? Copying everything afresh. Load install. Ah, that might help. Something went flashed past which didn't flash past before, but that's already crashed. So no, it's definitely not a year 2K bug, because it's 1997 and it's still doing it. It's not a Cyrix problem. Installation requirements for 4.11. An IBM PC or PC compatible with a 386 processor or higher. Minimum of 20 megabytes of RAM. 90 megabytes of free space on the hard disk, 15 meg DOS partition, 75 meg for a NetWare partition. I tick all the boxes for requirements. This is puzzling. I wonder what would happen if I were to take my installation and put it back into my PC. Mount the drive, B2, no it's not, why not? It should be B2, SDB2, it is now, must have taken a while to get it. I shall delete all this. Don't worry, Carrot House, we haven't actually achieved anything yet. I've been trying to install NetWare on my Cyrix machine and it's not liked it. So I've switched over to a Celeron P3 grade, 600 odd megahertz, and it's doing exactly the same thing, crashing as soon as it loads the network driver. So I'm just nuking my installation and going to try a different version of NetWare. I'm going to go back to this 4.2 version, but install it from the SD card, not the CD-ROM. So just writing to the SD card. At the rate that this installation is going, I think I'll still be here at midnight, so there's still plenty of stream to watch. Though I can't guarantee that any of it's going to be even vaguely exciting. So far today, from my list of things that I want to achieve on this stream, I have achieved a grand 0. Okay, that's written. Actually, before I do that, let's just mount the other partition and delete the old installation. Okay, let's try booting off this now. And install this version and see what happens. See if this crashes on the same file again. Oh yes, my precious Voodoo 3000 PCI version is the worst one of the two. Now this is looking promising. I found that card in a computer that I found at the tip. It was a dumpster dive special. Right, this is looking more promising from a 4.2 installation perspective. Lots of floppy drive access. Oh, it's loading the 90X driver. Might be working now. Partition table's invalid. I'm not surprised. I made half of it in Linux, so it's probably doing things it does not like. Do I want to delete everything on this drive? No, I don't. It's my installation. But we appear to have got further. I'll say no to doing that. No accessible drives have NetWare partitions. It's really hammering that floppy drive. It needs me to reformat the card before it'll work. Right. So I'm thinking we go right back to stage 1. Except I don't have a GoTech in this machine. So what to do on here? I shall go back to the Cyrix and reinstall DOS on there, because that I can use the GoTech. It does indeed. It has a strange system. It requires DOS to boot and install, and then it installs itself onto its own partition within the drive. And it's its own weird format. Let me just get the right disk inserted. DOS disk 1. And switch over to that one. I think I've got an SD card somewhere here that's actually got OS2 Warp installed on it. No idea where. Well, actually I do know where it'll be. It'll be in my little pouch of SD cards in here somewhere. I installed it, but I've never used it. Although saying that, I can't see one that's labelled as OS2, so maybe I've deleted it. Okay, I want to cancel out of that and run fdisk. So let's delete all partitions on here. And delete that partition. MS-DOS 6. Gone. Okay. Create a partition. Primary. No, I don't want the whole disk. Hello. There we go. How much space? I'll take 2 gig. Make it active. Okay. I'm losing my microphone wire. Right. And let it format. It would be nice if Gotex operated faster than real floppy drives, but because they emulate an actual floppy, they're as slow as anything. The UK layout is almost American, except you've got the quote on the 2 and the @ sign over here, and things like hash and tilde and backslash and things are in slightly different places. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. Next disk is needed. I heard the beep. I think I've got the right disk going there. Yep, it's flashing away. Although on Linux, I use a special variant of the keyboard with what's called dead keys, where I've got access to all the accents and things through specific combinations of keys. Because although we don't really use them in English, I do type in other languages occasionally. So having access to certain characters on there is useful, even without having to then change the keyboard map every time I want to switch languages. Where are we? If I come here, so I can hold on to my Alt-GR key, press semicolon, and then E, and it gives me an accented E. Saves me having to remember all the Unicode numbers and everything and strange things like that. And how's the installation going? Actually, I can do that as well so you can see the keyboard. And third disk. I'm not going to bother installing the CD-ROM driver on this installation because I'm going to extract the ISO image straight to the SD card again. So once this is finished, I'll pop the card out, move it over to Linux and extract everything. Done. Okay. So useful having the SD card sticking out the front of that machine. Got a nice 3D printed bracket that takes the SD card adapter. That's the view I want. Okay, let's mount that. Make a directory for it. 7ZX NW42.iso. Unmount it. Now, shall I install this using the Cyrix or the P3 Celeron? I want to use the Cyrix because it's very much of the period. But the Celeron we know was trying to work. Yeah, I'm thinking I might go for Celeron for Cyrix. Confused me then with Cyrus. Could have been Cyprus. Yes, I'll go for the Cyrix. I think it's got enough memory. It should have enough memory. Where is it? That's the one there. It's got 2 4s and 2 8s. So 24 meg. So just enough. 20 meg is the minimum. Okay, that's written. 24576, 24 megabytes. I would quite like to upgrade it, but I haven't got any more 72-pin SIMs. Oh, hang on. Still got the DOS Disk 3 in. Okay, let's install this on here, if it will. Looking good. Got further than last time I tried it on here. Oh, every single word. I'm like Data, I just need to flick through a book and I've read it. I haven't seen any of Picard. I'm not sure what services it's on over here or is available on, but I don't subscribe to Netflix or anything like that, so I don't get to see a lot of these fancy new shows. It looks like it's installed the 3Com driver and is operating with it. It's examining the network. Yeah, I'm not a big TV watcher, and I've got my collection of videos on the server that I watch, but no, I'm not one for watching broadcast TV. This is looking very, very hopeful. And this is copying to the sys partition, which is its own special magic source partition. No other NetWare 4 servers are accessible on the networks visible to this server. Either this is the first server or there is a network problem. It is the first server. Time zone. United Kingdom. Put in a super secret password. Well, hey. Okay, the license is C. Where was it? There is a license key on this disk. Hang on. That should have found that. Unless it requires it on the floppy drive, in which case go tech time. Right, what do I want? SDA1. No. Oh, of course, that card reader is plugged in, so this is E1. I've got some blank disk images on here. And server and client. Let's copy to server. Did that copy? Oh, hang on, I've just copied onto something else there. I'm going to reformat this. Format server and client. Wipe those two disks. Copy the server license. Copy the client license. Unmount. Okay. Hopefully I've got license keys on here. And let's go to upper level, and I want server. Hey, there we go. Found a license. And that sounded like my mobile phone just there, being used as a camera, running out of power. Or almost running out of power. In fact, I think it just turned itself off. Yep, completely off. So no desk shots for the time being until that charges up. I think you'll find the clock is already set. Unlike Shelby, I keep batteries in my computers. Installing system files. Might as well start getting the client ready for use. Come on, why can't I get this socket in? Plug. Just me being thick. Okay, put the Cyrix back in one piece again. Not the Cyrix, the Celeron. The server installation is complete. It is recommended you reboot the server after exiting the installation. Continue by installing ZenWorks Starter Pack and Novell client software. It says it's loaded. It recommends you reboot it. I don't know how you reboot it. No. How do you shut down a Novell server? Off? Nope. Restart server. You must down the server before you can restart. Down. Ah. Type exit to return to DOS. Aha. Rebooting the server. we have a NetWare server up and running, supposedly. Get that out of the way. Is this working yet? Yay, camera's back. Okay, we get to go through the whole thing again now, but on the 486 for the client software. Plus, I need to create myself a different bit of network for this, because the network card in here is BNC only, or BNC and AUI. Oops, there go all my screwdrivers. Yeah, we've only got AUI and BNC on this network. It's good old-fashioned 10 megabit. Does it have a GUI for the client? I don't think. Well, I think there's this ZenWorks thing that it mentioned, which I think is a GUI, but it's an administrative GUI. But the actual client software is all DOS based. So I'm going to got that connected. If I turn this on, I need my memory stick. And back to here. I need to install DOS on this SD card. Now, is this set to boot from the floppy? Yes. This doesn't sound healthy. Trying to eject the CD-ROM, and all I'm getting. Move the microphone over. Oh. Typical. The moment I go to show you the noise it's making, it ejects. Now then, is this my NetWare disk? No. I've not got the right version for the client, have I? So what I might do is do it by taking out the SD card, use that old trick. Are we getting anywhere on here? Yep. Full disk on this one. Don't need to worry about partitioning. Chug, chug, chug. There we go, starting MS-DOS. Oh yes, network. I'm going to need my little 10 megabit hub. Connect up the BNC. And a suitable network cable going to my retro computer network switch, which is under the desk here. Into the uplink port on here, because this predates the ability to auto sense the wiring in a cable. We have a specific uplink port that has everything crossed over, and a 12-volt power supply. Port 1 is lit up. I'm sure I can lift this up high enough for you to see. But I think I now have a network connection configured. Okay, installing DOS for about the 8th time tonight. It is now 22 minutes past 9 in the evening. So I'll give myself another half hour or so, 40 minutes. Pretty much. It's wonderful living in the future. The future is rosy. 3, 22, 14, 7, 69. %30 of nothing. And disk 2. Okay, let's grab my mobile from up here. Is it still working? Or has it died again? It's still working. I'll give you a GoTech view. There's my mouse gone. absolutely. Gotta have blinky lights. Oh, and my phone's struggling. Because there's no battery power, so it keeps going into lower power mode. The first thing I always do with every GoTech that I get is place the screen. I need to change, yeah. Continuous autofocus. There we go. Always install a screen so you know what you're doing. In fact, let's do that even. I can get it the right way around. To get it in the right place with the delay that I get on OBS, plus everything's rotated 90 degrees. Oh, I'll be feeling seasick now. And it's frozen. I think this needs to... Yeah, it's died. Battery's gone flat again, is it? 6% power. Oh, it's back again. And it's struggling. I think it needs to go to bed for a bit, this phone. It's feeling rather warm. I shall leave it off for a bit and let it charge up properly. Actually, I could give you another view. Where's my... What I've done with my microscope camera? I have no idea. There it is. Hey, Urban Monkey. Howdy. I noticed it was you talking just then. Right. If I turn on this, my little cheap eBay purchase of a microscope camera thing, onto the next disc, and get it to connect on Wi-Fi. Is it going to connect on Wi-Fi? It has connected on Wi-Fi. And microscope. No, it's not having it today. Oh, is it? Hang on. Am I just not focused? Ah, there we go. Ugh. Yay, there we go. Oh, it's struggling to communicate tonight. Work is always boring. That's why I stream instead. Hey, 69. And we're done. Okay, now I need the client software on here. somehow. Actually, the newer version of the client on here might work. I'll need CD-ROM support. Copy the driver. MSCDEX the CD-ROM. Right, we should now have a clean DOS installation with CD-ROM support. Detected CD-ROM. Now this is the 4.11 disk, I believe. No. Maybe the 4.11's in here still. Yeah, there it is. This is the 4.11 disk. All these unlabeled verbatim CDRWs all look the same. I'm using my microphone cable again. I've got it going down my back rather than my front to try and keep the microphone in a reasonable position. Okay. I'm going to use this to install the client software only. Client installation. So I don't think the version 4.2 disk has got the client software on it. Oh, NT3. I remember using NT3. Okay. NetWare client 32 for DOS and Windows 3.1. Or NetWare DOS Windows client VLM. I'll take the default. DOS only. Do I want the TCP/IP stack? Because it's all IPX normally. Now I'll stick to just IPX. F10 when you're finished. 16 or 32-bit LAN drivers. Well, it's DOS, so it's only 16-bit mode anyway, so I'm going to go for 16-bit LAN drivers. Recom Etherlink 3 plus modem PC card adapter, no. Recom Etherlink 3 parallel tasking family. Recom Etherlink XL, no. Oh, this is the NE2000 clone in this one, isn't it? Sorry. Server had the 3Com. It doesn't have the proper make, does it? No. So Novell Ethernet NE2000. Port is 320. IRQ is 5. F10 save continue. Modify startup files, yes. F10 save continue. Okay, that says it's installed. Let's reboot and see what happens. Fingers crossed. See if it finds the card when it boots. All sorts of things are happening. Attached to server Neil. Ha ha ha! It's connected. I don't know what you do with it now, but it's connected. We have Novell NetWare up and running. Yes, there's 2 network cards that I swear by. All others I swear at. Any 2000 and their clones, and anything 3Com basically. All others can go hang. Right, well, I've attached to that. I wonder if I've got a drive E now. No. I don't know how we do anything now, but what have we got? Novell. Client 32. No idea. First network drive F. I wonder if I've got a drive F. I've got an F. If it isn't an Intel card, I'll put it and replace it with an Intel card. Fair enough. And Intel's in servers these days. That's pretty much standard. So they've become the 3Com of the modern era. In fact, didn't Intel buy 3Com? Or somebody bought 3Com? Who bought 3Com? Got me thinking now. Who bought 3Com? HP. Of course, HP bought 3Com. Okay, ooh, loads of stuff on here. Log in. I'm assuming admin. The super secret password. And I am now logged in as admin to Neil. Whoa! Small amount of stuff there. Pointer? Point TR? No idea. Is there any com files? No. Is there any bat files? No. dir/w/on/p. I have no idea what I'm looking at here. I guess this is the entirety of the NetWare server system files. Anything else on F? Public, mail, etc. Net basic. What's net basic? Include util user. Util. basic files. High-tech basic, is it? No. Ooh. Okay, we've got some basic programs on here, but is there a version of basic installed? No idea. Ooh. Okay, what have we got here? There's all your utilities. Set password, log in, log out, net admin. No basic there, but net admin. What's net admin? Ooh. Manage objects. Manage according to search pattern, change context, manage objects. Let me just move that out of the way a moment. Insert, add. Oh, is this where I add a new user? Looks like it. Last name of the user. Mailbox location. I don't know. Create a home directory. Yes. Copy the user template object. Yes. Volume object name. Sys. No. I shall leave that blank. F10 save. Have I just made myself a new user? I've just created a user. Account restrictions. Account balance. I think I've just made myself a user. If I come out of here and go log out, log in, log in as me, there shouldn't be a password. There we go, straight in. Set pass, was it? Yeah. Set myself a password. Excellent. NetAdmin is still there. It'll still let me into NetAdmin as a user. Okay. You don't have rights to view this. No rights. logging as admin again. Drives A, B, C, D, E mapped to a local disk. Drive F is Neil sys system. Search drives are Z, Y. Y looks to be the root of the system drive. I wonder how much memory I've got available after loading all this rubbish in. 483. Not bad. Let's see what we can do with MemMaker. For these retro computers, I have been using the Microsoft TCP client version 3, which lets me map my Samba shares as drives, which it works, but it requires an awful lot of drive space and an awful lot of memory. So I'm wondering actually if running a NetWare server for these retro computers might not be actually a more sensible idea. If it uses less memory on the client. Would I say such a thing, Urban Monkey? Would I ever diss Microsoft Soft? Where have I put it? Not there. I've lost it. No. Would somebody with my credentials ever say anything against Microsoft? I am Microsoft certified, who I was about 2 decades ago. Yes, 2003. Server 2003, Exchange Server 2003. That's what I had to learn for work once. I do remember going in for the multiple choice exam on the computer at a training centre. 2-hour booking for it, walk in, do the exam, 15 minutes later out, done, 100%. So simple, these Microsoft exams. 574K conventional free. 588 total under 1 meg. Not bad, not bad. That would be down in about 300, I think, for the other one. Oh. What was that? Did that exam entail then? VMware. I haven't used VMware for years. I used to use it all the time. Then I switched over to VirtualBox. Then gave up on VirtualBox, and now I use KVM all the time. libvirt on Linux. I only ever really used the VMware Player and whatever came before VMware Player. But once they'd gone strange with their custom Linux distros and all that sort of thing, I just lost interest in it. 20 terabytes, is that all? You could almost run NetWare server on that. I wonder what the lowest level of CPU is that the client requires. And the server requires a 386 or better. But I'm not sure what the client needs. So I'm wondering if this will work on my 5150. The installation requirements goes on about server. Doesn't mention client at all. NetWare client DOS minimum CPU. The minimum supported processor for the NetWare VLM client is a 286. Pooh. No. So it looks like I can't run NetWare on my 5150. That's a shame. That would have been nice. At the moment I'm using, because I can't even really run the Microsoft TCP client on there, because that's just far too bloated for it. So at the moment I'm using a system called EtherDFS, which sort of works. It does seem to have a few issues that every so often it corrupts files, but it operates and it's very, very lightweight. But it's a shame I can't run the NetWare client because that would have been ideal. Right, well, I'm not sure I can really do anything now except just play around. Actually, I might have a look at. I wish I was too. Net admin. No, public. Oh, of course, log in first. Admin. The super secret password. Now I can go net admin. Manage objects. I want to create a new object. I'll make a new volume. On Neil, host volume this. I've just made a new volume. Now, how do I mount that volume? Don't see anything relating to volumes in here. Map. Is that what I want? To assign a drive to a directory path. Map options / var search : drive path. So if I go map q Neil data, is it? No. Map q Neil / data, looking at those examples. No. // no. N is not the drive letter. That N is next. Available drive. Specified volume does not exist. Get rid of the /. Nope. Map a drive to a physical volume on a server P. Ooh, CD-ROM seems to be spinning up. That was almost working. It decided to try and map the CD-ROM drive. so if I go in as Q there, is that what it wants? Invalid. Map drive W as a search drive to the WP directory. Equals? No. Equals Q. I don't understand. Map the next available drive. Make map a drive. It was NP. Just P by itself was sort of working. Let's go yes to that. No, it doesn't like the volume. Okay, Neil data it isn't. Alright, it's just be data, won't it? Because that's Neil sys is Neil sys, not sys on Neil. If I go N, map N data colon, as simple as that. Okay. Alright, it seems to just, data just seems to be a copy of the existing. That's less than useful. Right. It's 10 o'clock now, so I think it's time for me to finish off. Right, I have spent today crafting a fancy outro system in OBS. So fingers crossed this is going to work. When I press this button, all hell is going to break loose. So no, Thursday I'm probably next going to stream. I can't do Tuesdays or Wednesdays. I sing on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Thursday is my only other available day. No, it doesn't sound good, believe me. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, of course, is Tech Tangents. So Thursday is my other streaming day. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Right, here we go. My new outro. Is it going to work? There's those bits come up. And there's the bottom bit. This is possibly working. Well, that has been a fun roller coaster ride. I finally got things working. I don't know what I'm going to be doing with them. I don't know how to use them, but they're actually working. Finally, it took how many attempts to get that going? Still, it is going. And it might stay as a NetWare server now if it proves to be useful. So yeah, thank you for joining me today. It's always fun to have somebody to chat to when you're messing around with these things. I might turn the sound down a bit on that. It looks like it's a bit rich there. Oh, I always try to enjoy singing. Singing is good for the soul. It's good for the mental health, and but it's not good for the street cred. Not the kind of singing I do. Choral music mostly. It's not great stuff really for listening to unless you're into that sort of thing. But it gets me out of the house. Gets me meeting other people. So right, well, thank you for joining me. I might see you Thursday. Again, I have no idea what I'm going to do on Thursday. You had no idea I had YouTube. Oh yes, I've got all these mod cons, you know. There's nothing of any real interest on there, of course, but I do try and post things every so often. So yes, I have no clue what I'm going to do on Thursday. I might play with this a bit more. I'll probably investigate it a bit more in the meantime, or I might find something. I was originally planning on playing with an ISA PCI postcard, but it's stuck in China at the moment, so I can't do that. That's put pay to my idea for Thursday, but I'm sure I'll come up with something, or I'll just turn on the stream and just play silly DOS games or something, maybe. I don't know. Oh, I'm jealous of you, Urban Monkey. Yes, it's last I saw it actually left the airport in China after spending about a week just sat at the airport waiting for a flight. It's a pain when that sort of thing happens. And I ordered it on Amazon as well, mistakenly thinking that it might come a bit quicker. Yeah, right. Well, yeah, I gave Bezos money, but it didn't work. It's only once I'd hit the order button that I realised actually this is not coming from Jeff himself. This is coming from One Hung Lo in China. So it'll get here eventually, and then I'll be able to play with it. So, right, well, if you enjoyed this, you might want to subscribe for the next notification of when I'm next streaming, or join me look on YouTube and all these sort of things. I set up Patreon today as well. If you want to throw money at me by subscribing that, you'll get your name showing up down here in the outro if you do. I'm also starting to post my YouTube videos to Patreon first for people that want to get in on the action quicker. Not that there's really ever anything worth watching, but hey, it's all part of what you're supposed to be doing with these things. So, right, I'm going to love you and leave you now, and hopefully I shall see you on Thursday.